What is up, my scaredy cat crew? My name's ScaredLuna, and welcome to Umbra Mortis. Now, this game literally was just uploaded to itch.io like 20 minutes ago. I literally just checked to see if there was any more games, and this popped up. And it's about an hour long, 45 minutes to an hour. There's multiple choices, and obviously, if you can't tell, it is a visual novel. I don't know what to expect. It looks like an existential type of horror thriller thing. I don't know, I'm thirsty. Ah, yummy. But, anyways, this looked really interesting. Especially since Umbra Mortis, I think, is Death of the Dark. And please do not hold me to that, but I know Mortis can mean death and Umbra can mean the dark or the shadow, so maybe it's the shadow of death? I don't know, but we will find out. Also, this game is fully voice acted, I think. When I went into preferences to fix the volumes, I saw voice volume. So, hopefully the voice acting isn't too bad. If I have to turn it off, I will. So, let's get into it. You are creepy. I am dying. I can feel the disease working in my body. Malignant cells ravaging my insides, a raging biofire consuming my flesh and polluting my blood. Yeah, this game's about diseases. Also, I just realized that OBS might not be recording this. And wait. Okay, that looks weird. Automatic saves, quick saves. I'm just trying to check the, Why? Okay, yes, it is recording. So, every time I try to quit, I get this weird thing. It keeps trying to open up Microsoft. So that's weird, but we're just gonna go back to what's going on. Yes, OBS is recording it. It's weird. Malignant cells ravaging my insides, a raging biofire consuming my flesh and polluting my blood. It's spreading fast, leaving necrotic flesh in its wake, a deepening shadow inside me. The pain is huge at times, unpredictable, shooting through my body in bright, brittle bolts that leave me gasping for breath despite the painkillers. It is a relentless, monstrous ailment, and it has devastated my life. I don't know how much time I have left. The doctors refuse to say. They tell me that life expectancy predictions aren't known yet for this disease, that there are too many parameters. They want me to fight it, but I don't think I have much fight left. Maybe it's because I've accepted the inexorability of my sickness and thus the inevitability of my fate. Or maybe it's because I don't have much reason to fight. 8 months ago, I was healthy and unsuspecting 35-year-old. If you told me that in less than a year I would lose my health and daily my mind to a fatal illness, I would have laughed. Such is the frailty of our lives and the idiocy of our egos. We live as if we're immortal, when in fact death crouches outside our door, gibbering and hungry. 2 years earlier, I began my career in a nose-diving economy. Fresh out of college, armed only with a bachelor's in finance and naive optimism. I managed to get a job, deadbeat 8-hour gig as an accountant in a struggling software distribution firm. I detested the work. It was mind-numbing drudgery. But jobs were scarce at the time, and there were others who would have been happy to take my place. I was saddled with loans. My mom, the only family I had, passed away a year early after a long, bitter fight with cancer, and the insurance had only gone some way. I also had an education loan. I lived in a tiny studio apartment that I could barely afford in the most crowded part of the city. Oh, he's blinking. That's creepy. Life was stressful to say the least. And then there was my relationship with Anita. We'd met at university. She'd been doing a degree in mass communications and journalism. Looking back, it seemed that we had gravitated to one another naturally. She comes from a lower middle class background, like me, and we understood each other's aspirations and fears, money, rather the lack of it, health and insurance, job and stability. We'd grown up seeing adults fretting constantly over these things. Some of them, like our parents, managed to stay afloat, while others sank swallowed by the maw of poverty. She had emotional baggage and troubles of her own. A burdensome narcissist mother, among other things, but Nita was the brightest person I'd ever met. She was perhaps the one good thing I had in my life, but I didn't know it then. Things were getting shaky. A year into our relationship, it's not working. We're not working. And I get this feeling that you don't want it to work, that you're doing everything you can to sabotage us. This is where choices start going. I'm intrigued on this story so far. That's why I'm not commentating. I'm just reading. I am so into this. That's not true. I'm not imagining it. You're practically pushing me out without saying it right out. I know you have a lot of stress, but that's all the more reason for us to pull together. It helps if you talk about it instead of withdrawing and keeping all that stuff bottled in. I try. Honey, I'm sorry, maybe you are, but when I'm here, do you realize that you barely look at me? It's like you're lost somewhere inside yourself. I know that losing your ma hit you hard, and I know you have a lot going on, but pushing me away, pushing me out, is not helping us. I'm sorry. I know you are, honey, but maybe we only know the value of what we have when we don't have it. And Ma used to treat me like shit. Nothing I did could make her happy. Now that I'm not with her, she hovers over me every day. I am not your mother. No, you're not. That's not what I meant. We should take a break until you figure out what's eating you and what you really want. That must have been one of our last conversations before I got sick. It's strange, now that I'm dying, I realize that she was right. Whenever I think of her, I regret that I didn't see how lucky I was to have her. I regret that I wasn't a better man, more forgiving, more forthcoming. I knew that if I knew I was going to be dealt this card, I would have held on to her and never let go. I know now that I love her, and that it's too late. But I'm also glad that we fell apart before I fell ill. How much worse it would have been for her to be saddled with a dying lover. When Anita learned I was sick, she came into my life as a concerned friend. She visits me here at the hospital, but I discourage her from coming. The terminal wing of a hospital is a dreary place. Death lurks in every corner, in every shadow. Besides, I don't want her to remember me like this. I want her to remember me the way I was before I was diminished by this monstrous illness. I do not want her to be burdened by the thing I have become. She shouldn't have to walk in the shadow of death. Oh, I might have been right. When the disease hit me, it smashed apart my life. I sunk into an abyss, an endless darkness in which I came close to going insane. I asked all the usual questions. Why me? I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a serial killer, a rapist, or a pedophile. I may not be a saint, but I'm not evil. So why was I struck with this? But I had no one to ask these questions. Since I didn't believe in God, I could only turn inward, sinking deeper and deeper into the abyss. I wondered, is this body all that I am? What happens when I die? Where do I go? Does my life just end? Ooh, we're getting into some deep shit. Or do I have a soul, an immaterial, infinite other that lives on? But there were no answers. Good morning. I'm so sorry, but we have to wake you up. Ah, Doc. So, how are you feeling today? Dr. Shurish? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's a good man. I get the feeling that he really cares about his patients, that he sees them as people, fellow human beings who have gotten sick. Once, while he was talking to me about one of his patients who had passed away the night before, as... Ooh! Sorry. I feel sorry for him sometimes. It can't be easy working with the terminally ill, watching your patient snatched away with impudence as you look on helplessly. Your nostrums and your science useless abstractions. What does that do to a man? When failure at your workplace is routine. What questions must he ask himself in the late hours of the night when his sleep evades him? Who does he turn to? He once told me that doctors treat patients to the best of their abilities, but it is God who cures. He said that he's seen too much to believe that human beings can never hold all the universe's mysteries in their hands. It's like that old adage, the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. Well, feel worse, I feel better. Ooh, truth or lie, truth or lie? Truth. I'm sorry to hear that, but I have some news that might make you feel better. What's that? It's about your test results. The scans are back from the labs. They indicate that the last batch of drug we received from the NCDC, psychic, if you remember, is possibly having an effect on the disease. It's the latest formulation sent by the company from their labs. I wish I could tell you that there's remission. There is, however, a slowing down of the cellular alteration. It's still too early to make any conclusions, though. We'll wait. We'll watch. What does that mean in terms of how long I've got? Does it really matter? We're just prolonging the... We've talked about this. At this point, there's no accurate way to predict life expectancy. English. We're still figuring out the pathology of the disease. It could be weeks, months, maybe over a year. There are too many parameters that seem to influence lifespan. It doesn't matter anyways, when Doing might give me some kind of relief. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't, because I want you to focus on getting better. I will tell you when we've progressed a little more with the treatments. I sent your last blood samples back to the company. They'll send back a fresh batch of psychic, or psyoc? I'm saying psychic, with an upgraded genome target. We're only halfway through your treatment, remember? I want you to seize hope, to trust the process. Once we nail its pathology, we'll have a good shot at stopping it cold. I smile, nod, and don't believe a word of what he's saying. I've seen the x-rays. The necrosis, which began in my legs, has spread into parts of my abdomen, and it's encroaching on my lungs, a dark shadow growing within. I want you to trust us. We're doing our best. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go. We've got our hands full. The nurse will come around to give you your morning doses. He leaves quickly, and I am alone once more. I seem to feel the disease moving within me as it makes its way into my belly, my lungs, and towards my brain. I fall into a fitful sleep. I am startled awake. It is late afternoon, and I hear the sounds of a ruckus outside my room. A commotion and a snarling like that of some enraged animal. I must still be asleep and dreaming. My dreams have grown so vivid of late. After all, who will bring an animal into the terminal wing of the hospital? I try to sit up, but I can't. I'm so weak. I can feel the disease wrecking its dread destruction within me. I sense it coursing through my veins, a malignant other bent on my demise. Oh, I'm hating these sounds. I am aware of it all the time. This shadow of death that stalks me, I rage against it. I plead with it. I can't turn away from it, not for a second. The odd noises pass quickly. I fall back into restless sleep. Hello, nurse. Hello, sorry to wake you up. It's time for your evening doses. Nurse Boovin? My regular nurse, and perhaps the coldest nurse on the planet. I have rarely seen him smile. He does his job diligently, but he resists all my attempts to have a conversation. Sometimes I catch him looking at me with an unreadable expression. What do I see in his eyes? Pity? Did anything weird happen out there in the hall? He is silent for a moment. Not that I know of. I heard a growling like an animal's. It's probably the med. Psychic is known to have a strong side effects including lucid vivid dream states. Something about the way he responds, the shift in his tone makes me wonder. I get the feeling that you're not telling me something. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I've told you what I can. Can I see the doc? Those dreams shook me up. I'll put a note in for the doc. He's on his rounds now, and he'll come see you after. The doc did mention that you are in troubled frame of mind. I've added a sedative in your IV, which will help. You'll sleep like a log. That should help with the bad dreams. He leaves, and I am once more alone with my thoughts. Am I being turned into a werewolf? To Doctor, we are working on the blood samples and we're almost done with the sequencing. Meanwhile, here's the info you requested. Good luck, though. This thing has been a real bitch to nail. The first recorded case was in Romania. The victim, a man named Parlov G, who lived in one of the southern villages. One morning, his wife noticed odd bruises covering his back. He was the kind of man who wouldn't visit a doctor unless he was at death's door, she told reporters later. A few weeks later, he lost 10 kilos and was so weak he could barely walk. He was finally taken to a hospital, but his condition continued to deteriorate rapidly. They discovered that swaths of cells were dying for no apparent reason, necrosis spreading through his body. Its spread eventually caused catastrophic organ failure, then death. His body was burned immediately in fear of an outbreak, and his village was quarantined. But nothing happened. There was no outbreak. Whatever the disease was, it wasn't contagious. Not in the way we understand contagion. The next case was reported a few weeks later in Mumbai, India, but at the time nobody connected the two. It's only when the third case in Germany occurred that the National Disease Control Centers were galvanized into action and began to compare data. You know the rest. Its cellular structure is mutating in every host, so we're still trying to lock down on its pathology. Everyone thought it was bacterial at first, but yet no known antibiotic could touch it. And there is the genetic theory. Laughable, really. Its transmission is a mystery because there is only one way it could be transferred from one person to another. Direct fluid transfusion into the bloodstream, like AIDS at this stage, from a bygone era. Hence, mass contagion isn't a concern. And you know how it got its name, the X-rays and CT scans. The spreading necrosis resembles a growing shadow, hence the name, Umbra Mortis. I call that shit! Hey, sleepyhead, I've been here for 20 minutes now. You were out like a baby. Seeing her here fills me with conflicting emotions. Regret, desire, love, anger. When she was last here, I told her as coldly as I could to not visit again. But Anita isn't easy to dissuade. Why didn't you wake me up? I didn't want to wake you. You looked exhausted. It's 9:30 a.m. It's Tuesday, so she has to be at work by 9 a.m. for team meeting she conducts. It's good to see you, but didn't we decide we wouldn't do this? Stop, okay? I know what you're trying to do, and it's not working. I'm not that stupid. I know you're being sweet, honey, like you always are. It's regretful that it took a terminal illness to make me realize I love her. On hindsight, the arguments we had, in which I sulked over, seem trite and laughable now. I marvel at how stupid I was. Yet, in a bitterly ironic twist, I do not want her anywhere near me now. The disease is not contagious, but my misery might as well be. She deserves a wholesome life, not to be stuck in a room with a dying man. You're stubborn as ever. I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear that. Yes, the sight of her moves me. I know that if I close my eyes, I will see it. The abyss of what could have been. Nita as my wife, the two of us together, kids, the future. I don't want to go there. I pull myself back from those thoughts with some effort. I've been in that abyss before and I don't want to go back there again. There's no respite there, only endless dark and yammering questions and the ever-present threat of insanity. How are things with your mom? Well, the usual, ups and downs. Mostly downs, though. She's not been talking for me for a week now, putting me through a guilt wringer because I forgot to call. Nothing new to report there. She pauses, and I see a flicker of worry. But there's weird stuff going on. Since you're not on the networks anymore, you aren't seeing the reports, the rising hysteria and rumors that the number of people affected by Umbra Mortis is growing. Do you think any of that's true? I don't know. There's no official word from our government. The official line is that all's normal and that spreading false rumors and creating panic is punishable by law. But on social media, everyone seems to know someone who has caught it. They're not sure how it's spreading. When you got it 8 months ago, it felt like there were only a handful of people, right? Or so we thought. It felt like we just lucked out. An understatement. I didn't feel like we lucked out. I slipped into the abyss, and there I thrashed and burned for weeks. But folks are saying that was just not being reported. And there's even more crazy rumors that the disease is changing somehow. I've seen viral videos of... She falls silent. Videos of what? Actually, never mind, really. I don't think I need to bother with these things right now. Just focus on getting better. Thank God you're off the networks. It's all just alarmist rabbit noise anyways. Come on, please tell me I'm gonna turn into a werewolf. Look, I gotta go now. I'll see you soon. For reasons I can't explain, a sense of deep foreboding filled me. Within me, the disease continues its relentless passage, a malefic shadow cast upon my flesh. Oh, I'm so into this! I wake up in the dark and I hear the strange noises again. A low animal growling. Come on, werewolf! I must be dreaming. Please be a werewolf! Off late, my dreams again are getting more vivid. When I wake up, I can't remember what it is I dreamt about, but I come awake, sweating, terrified. I become fully aware of my dying body, the thing within that is killing me. I can sense its desire to consume me from within, to chew through my flesh and escape into the world. It is insatiable. I can feel its dread hunger. Such hunger. So the last 5 batches of random trails are all telling us the same thing. It's scaring the hell out of us here. I can't tell you too much. Who knows, even this network may be monitored. It's common knowledge that Umbra Mortis has been mutating, creating variants of itself in each successive host, manifesting differently. That's what made it impossible to target. You can't target a disease unless you have its genome locked down. But now, the mutations are slowing down. In fact, there have been no mutations in the last 2 generations of the infected. That means we'll have a shot at an antigen, That'll be good news, right? Well, it's not, because the last manifestation of Umbra Mortis in the human body, the final variant, if you will, is unlike anything we've seen before. The blood samples he sent us display the same variant. I'm sending you another batch of psychic, which you've tried to modify to address this. I'll send you some more later. Meanwhile, be very careful. Come on, please be a werewolf. Do not be a fucking zombie. I will be angry. The doctor hasn't come and seen me today yet, which is uncharacteristic. I paid for the nurse to give me some water, and it's been an hour. Where's the doctor? I'm sorry, he's got his hands full today. All of us do. I'm going to put some sedative in your IV. That should help calm you down a little. Not so fast. What's going on? How do you mean? I need to know if there's any change in my condition. For a moment, it seems he'll say something, then he simply leaves. Damn them. What's going on? Wake up with the start where that someone is in the room with me. I turn and see. Look, I was never here. I'm doing this because, well, I think you have a right to know. Things are getting out of control anyway, so all the bullshit about classified this and classified that, I don't think it even matters. I'll tell you this, they don't have anything under control. This thing, Umbra Mortis, it's not what we thought. How do you mean? What do you know about Umbra Mortis? I'm sure you've heard that it isn't contagious except for blood or cellular transfer, so you don't know how you got it. No one knows how it started either. What we do know is that it causes necrosis within your body, the dead cells spreading until it destroys all major organs. In rare cases, it happens in days, but for most people it takes months, even years. We don't know why there is this variation. Have they discovered anything new? Well, obviously, they're working on learning more about its pathology in the hope of finding a cure. There were a lot of mistakes. At one point, they even thought it was bacterial. Hang on, sorry, my throat hurts. Then they were saying it could be a genetic. They said that it could have been like a genetic time bomb, having lain dormant in the genome of certain individuals all along. Finally triggered by some random juxtaposition of chemical events nobody can figure out. The NCDC were sequencing the hell out of its DNA. That's how they figured out the mutation thing. What's that? They observed that the disease was subtly changing itself with each generation of those affected. Excuse me, my throat hurts. In each host, its cellular structure was different. You could say that Umbra Mortis was evolving. Evolving? I know how it sounds, but that's what they saw. Its pathology, its cellular construct, was altering itself with each host. That sounds like some kind of virus. Yes, that's what they said too. A strain that modifies the human genome and triggers a kind of genetic snowball effect. But viruses don't change so rapidly. So then the theories got crazier. There were whispers in some circles that it's an artificial construct, a genovirus cooked up in some subterranean government lab that somehow escaped. Man-made? I know, biowarfare, tinfoil hat, conspiracy theories, all the rest. The classic escape man-made virus trope. And the usual suspects started piping up. The church calling it the act of God, just like they've done for every other inexplicable disease in history. And then there are the alien encouragement theorists. They're calling it the daily payload from the stars. We got a recent update from the NCDC. They've observed that in the most recent batch of patients, including in yourself, the mutation of the disease appears to have stopped. The cellular mutations are attaining stasis. That's good, right? Yes, they could, but there is a complication. In the last generation of the disease, it appears Umbra Mortis can cause cataclysmic changes to the cellular structure of the host, particularly in the central nervous system. We're not sure how it's causing those changes or how they're working. I sense he is lying, hiding something from me. Before I could ask him, he leaves furtively. Werewolf, do not be zombie. Okay, give me 2 seconds. My throat is really, really dry, I'm sorry. So I guess by now it's all out there, my old friend. I'm sorry we have to end our communications like this. I almost admire it, Umbra Mortis. It's devious. And if it is a created thing, well, it's been decided by a manic genius, a chemical coder par excellence, the devil himself. Or maybe the religions are right. Maybe this is the wrath of God. By the time you read this, you'll have already seen the transformation in the last batch of the infected. I'm sorry, but we have no more psychic to send you. We're going to have to let things play out with your remaining patients. We still do not know how this originated, but we sure as hell know how it was intended to spread. Oh God, we know that now. Get away, Sheriff. Get the hell away from there as soon as you can. Don't try to be the hero. Not this time. Hello, I'm sorry to come to you like this. I have held out for a while, but now I'm obligated to let you know that the situation has changed. It feels like there's a bubble in the back of my throat, and it sucks. My sense of foreboding grows. I feel my skin burning up with a fever, yet when I raise my hand to my forehead, it is cold to my touch. Anxiety grips me, near manic energy. Is that blood on your coat? Yes, that is obviously blood. What's going on? We've done our best. I want you to know that. We did everything we could. Oh no, I'm gonna fucking die. He seems to be talking to himself than to me. I held out, many didn't say. The government has declared an emergency, and troops are moving into every major city. This is the last shot of psychic that I have, but there's something I need to tell you. What? The last few doses of psychic, the latest batches of the drug, weren't being administered to stop the necrosis. In fact, the necrosis caused by Umbra Mortis is irreversible and cannot be stopped. The drug was being given you to freeze the transformation that the final variant of the disease is causing in you. Now that we're out of the drug based on the timelines we've seen in the others, you'll probably start seeing the changes in about 24 to 48 hours. I'll administer this now and then leave. What kind of changes? I'm sorry. He injects a vial full of psychic into my arm. I have no strength to move, and I wake up in the dark again to utter silence. Something is happening to me. Something is changing. I'm not sure what. I'm dying, aren't I? The dark fever grips me. It feels like there's a fire in me, an unquenchable, all-consuming fire that can never be put out. Or I'd simply burn up. I am slipping in and out of wakefulness. Wake up! Wake up! I see her before me, and again I am besieged by conflicting emotions, desperation, rage, desire. I am torn between wanting to tell her to go away and beg her to stay. She seems so vivid, so alive. What are you doing here? I had to see you. Things are bad out there, really bad. What do you mean? I came to tell you that I'm leaving. I have to go. Why? I have to leave town. They're saying there are camps up north, pockets of quarantine areas where the disease have not yet hit. There's a group of people leaving for it, and I have to go with them. What's going on? The hospital staff have fled. The military is fast approaching the city, and they are enforcing a quarantine. It's only for a few hours to get going, but I had to come see you one last time. I was hoping that you would still be here. You shouldn't have come at all. I know that was a risk coming here. I don't even know if I'll make it back. The roads are jammed up, there's chaos everywhere, and there's terrible stuff happening on the roads. I was nearly caught twice, but I had to come. I had to tell you before I left. If only I could take you with me, but I can't. I wouldn't come anyways. I am so sorry, baby. I love you so much. So this is it. And not in the way I had imagined. I should be feeling glad that she's leaving, but I'm not. But despite all my bravado and faux attempts at nobility, I despair at this turn of events. A part of me wants her so bad. And now that I know she's going, now that I know it's for real, the reality of it hits me. I try not to cry, but it's hard. I don't want her to go, yet I want her to go. I want her to be safe, yet I want her to be with me. The emotions threaten to tear me asunder. Looking at her, I no longer feel weak. In fact, in an odd way, I feel alive, as if the vibrancy of her being is crying out to me. I can also hear her heart beating. I can also hear the quickness in her breath. The fire that grips me rises, and the incredible hunger roars up like a dark tide. Unable to help myself, I move towards her. She looks at me, and I see a terrible thing in her eyes. I see fear. She leaves. I am alone with the thing inside me, the shadow of death, the abyss of what might have been, the clawing, hungry, yammering that thing that is burning me up within. How did I get here? What am I doing outside my room? I don't remember getting out of bed. I don't feel so weak. Is that blood on the floor? Where is everybody? This must be a dream because I feel frighteningly alive. Maybe the final stages of this disease brings vivid dreams like these. Oh my gosh, it's getting so hard to talk. Ah! Ah! I don't know why my throat's trying to give out on me. But no, I'm too invested. This is good. This is very well written, and I really hope you guys have been enjoying this so far. I know I'm not doing a whole lot of commentary, but I am just so invested in the story. I need to know, you know? Let's go back to my room. I try to turn to go back, but I can't. A strange compulsion rages in me, a directive I can't understand. I walk down the hallway. The trail of blood leads out to the room to my left. What happened here? The doorway to my right is slightly ajar. It appears to lead into a room much like my own. Could there be someone in there? I hear that low growling again. Is there someone inside? I need to see. I call out. But there is no response. I open the door. A room much like my own. The bed is soaked with blood. Who's that in the corner? Is it me or is that moving? A figure stands in the corner, perfectly still, cloaked in shadow. It does not move. I can feel its gaze upon me. My skin's crawling. Yet incredibly, I feel no threat from it. I feel almost a kind of kinship. I call out to it, but there is no response. I back out of the room and into the corridor. What did I just see? I nearly run into the nurse before I see him. Back up. Back the fuck off. It's me. Back off. I was sleeping, alright? Just let me go. Why are you talking to me like that? Get back. Just let me pass. Please. Everyone's gone. I came back to get the last of the antibiotics from this dispensary before I leave town. Medicines will be scarce now that everything is shot to shit. I can hear his heartbeat. I can smell his fear. It is a sweet smell. How vibrant his being is. How alive. I can hear the blood coursing through his veins. I can almost taste it. Taste him. His flesh. His blood. Something inside me lurches forward. Baying. Hungry. Something has happened. Something terrible yet wonderful. I can't think about it. The world disappears. Back in my room now. I must still be in the dream because I feel so strong, so wonderfully strong. This room feels familiar, like home, like a den. Never want to leave here. It is zombie, damn it. I was hoping for werewolf. What have I become? My hunger consumes me. I no longer see it as something apart from me. Umbra Mortis, the shadow of death. Maybe I have accepted it, the inexorability of this disease, and thus the inevitability of my fate. English, please. For a brief moment, a whisper of the old question arises. Do I have a soul? And then the question is gone. Forever, I suspect. The abyss is gone. What might have been forgotten. My memory of Anita persists, a lingering shadow in my mind. Yet even Anita no longer seems to matter, and I feel no sorrow. It is just me in this eternal night. Is that it? Is that the game? And that was so good! I hate zombie stories. Zombies do nothing for me in terms of good storylines because it's just so overdone. But this was good. This was proper. This was fucking amazing. And you know what? This is the bonus video of today. I wasn't planning on doing a bonus video, but I just recorded this. I threw it all together and it's been uploaded for 3. But, well, by the time you see it, it's probably like 4 Eastern Standard. I don't care. I love this. This was good. And obviously there's probably different endings or different dialogue choices. I'm not gonna go through them all. But please, please, please go support this game developer. I need more from you guys. If developer, if you're watching this, please give more stories because you are an excellent writer. You and your team, 10 out of fucking 10. But I'm going to leave this video here. I can't believe that I found this and it was just uploaded to it when I picked it up. So this was out today and the video is going out today. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, scare that like button to death. And I'll see all you scaredy cats in the next video. Please play this for yourself. This was amazing. Bye.